Assalamu alaikum to all of you, and welcome to our another amazing episode of my podcast. I am your host Fahad Wala, and I am student at Rehan School Online Academy, and I am also performing my responsibilities as an interview captain at the same institute. So today I have honored to speak with Mr. Bruce, and he is an author. He is a pauper, a pirate, and poet, and much more. So we are going to explore his personal, professional life journeys to to explore his life, to explore his wonderful achievements, whatever the things are included in his life journeys. So I can't wait to start our conversation. Hello, Mr. Bruce. How are you? And welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is honored for me to speak with you. So, can you please introduce yourself for the audience?
Good. I'm Dr. Bruce D. Kaloski. I have doctorates in psychology and hypnotherapy. I'm been a practicing hypnotherapist for almost 50 years. My specialty is past life regression and therapy, and I also teach it. I'm also a trainer. I'm a trainer in clinical hypnotherapy and also past life regression and hypnotherapy. I've written several books. I've written a whole host of training material for people who are hypnotherapists or want to learn to be hypnotherapists or want to learn to be a past life regression therapist. And that's what my practice right now currently consists of is past life regression and therapy.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so your book has garnered a lot of attention. What inspired you to write Puppet, Pauper Pirate, Poet Pawn, and a King?
Well, there are a lot of books out there. I'm sure you're referring to my Amazon bestseller, Your Journey Was Never Meant to End, a compelling case for reincarnation. There are many, 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 many books out there. I wanted to write a book that would approach this from an objective manner and look at some of the scientific background on there and the evidence that is out there for the concept of reincarnation, not just spiritual but factual and physical evidence for reincarnation, and to set the story straight on a lot of the a lot of people who do this, who write this, tend to be very dogmatic. They will say something. This is the way it is, and that and that and that. Well, for something as esoteric as reincarnation, in my opinion, you cannot be dogmatic. There are so many, many, just like religion. There's so many, many different religions out there. There are so many different concepts or theories of reincarnation. So I attempted to present them all and leave it up to the reader to decide for themselves whether this is true or not. I happen to believe, but I have no right to impose my personal belief systems on anybody else. So I do that. I believe that I've succeeded in doing that by doing that in an objective way and leaving it up to the reader to make the final decision for themselves. And I've also looked at the evidence that's out there. And I answer some of the common questions. And I look at I do things like look at reincarnation and religion. What how has religion treated it over the years? For instance, there at one time for the first 500 years of its existence, reincarnation was an accepted tenet of the Christian Church, of Catholicism. Then, in about 540 or so AD, it was thrown out. A lot of other Buddhism accepts it, Shinto, and many other religions around the world, except that some don't. Right now, Christianity, I think a lot of Christians believe in it. They do, and the surveys show that. But the official stand of the church does not allow for such belief. Does not believe. So I look at that in my book, and I look at a number of other things about the different types of past life regression. Not only one, there's I believe there's different types. lives, and I tell people about that. And as I said, I answer some of the common questions about karma. We talk about karma in the book, things like that.
Okay, okay, that's amazing. So, can you tell us about the main themes you explore in the book?
Well, those are the main themes I explore in the book. Is an overview of the philosophy of reincarnation and of also past life regression. Uh, I would say the main themes are the different types of past life regression and what each is used for. For example, if you want me to go through them with you, I will. You have you have the informational type of past life regression, which is a person comes into you and just wants to know. It's a fact finding mission. They'd like to know who was I, when was I, where did I live, what did I do, how did I die, things like that. Second type is called a karmic connection. This takes a person back to a life that is karmically connected or responsible for some of the things that are going on in this particular life. It could be certain personal challenges. It could be people that
Yeah,
you've reincarnated, meeting or recognizing people that you've reincarnated with. We call them the soul group, or some people call the soul tribe. People, souls that we might regularly reincarnate with from life to life for a particular reason, to learn a lesson, perhaps. So we go back to the lifetime that is primarily responsible for whatever is going on in your life right now. There may be different lifetimes that influence and impact other things that go on, but there is usually one that is primarily most influential. Third type of past life regression would be between lives regression. And this is a regression that first takes the person back to the past life directly before the chronologically before this one, before they entered into this one. We go back to that life. We do a brief overview of that life. Then we take the person or the client goes into the between life state. Some people call it
yeah,
home, call it the afterlife, whatever you want to call it. And then uh, well, it seems to be some evidence or anecdotes from other people who looked at this that certain things happen in that in between state, and I have found that to be that way too. We interact with our soul group, we interact with our spirit guide, we learn. We get a report card. How do we do in that past life? Okay, now why are we? Why did we come into this particular life? What's the purpose? What are we meant to achieve? Why did we decide to do it? We meet with the spirit guide. We experience the pre-birth planning, time, and the afterlife when we plan what's going to happen. We like a screenwriter, a Hollywood movie script writer. We sit down and write the script of our life, of our coming life to be. We also meet the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders is are entities that are several levels higher than we are. They're also higher than the spirit guide. They don't have to reincarnate anymore. They've been that. They've been here. They've done that. So they don't have to do that. And they are basically their job is basically to oversee our lives on a different level that the spirit guide does, and to offer us counsel in between lives. So we get to meet with them. We get to ask them some questions. The question that most people seem to ask them is, why am I here? What's it all about? What am I meant to do? What's my purpose? How can I best fulfill my purpose? And the last type of past life regression, which I talk about in the book, is past life therapy. The theory is that many of the things that challenge us in this life may have a causative factor or the genesis in a previous life. This could be fears, phobias, self esteem, self confidence. Sometimes financial issues are traceable to a past life. A whole host of physical problems, physical pain can be traceable to a past life. If you like to, I could tell you a story about that and relate what happened with a client. It stands out of my mind because it happened many years ago. It probably is about 40 years ago. A client come in, not from past life. He was there to I think to help him ready for an exam that he had to take, a civil service exam.
Yeah.
And while he was sitting in front of my desk, he kept moving like this, moving around like he's trying to get comfortable. And I said, "Are you okay? Are you comfortable?" He said, "Oh," he said, "I'm all right." He said, I've got a pain in my back that my doctors can find no reason, no physical reason for." That's interesting. Okay, so then he's told me about another problem he had, being chronically mistrustful of other people. The way he put it, he was always looking behind him, like expecting something to happen. So he's always chronically mistrustful of other people. And I broached past life regression with him. I said, "Are you open to that?" And not everybody is. So some people are. I said, "I think I'd like to try that for that." So we did. He came back the next session, and he went back to a lifetime as a fur trapper in the United States, in the state of Colorado, in the mountains. And it was 1880s when he went back to, and he was encroaching upon Indian tribal lands there. And the Indians didn't like it because he's taking their beavers and their pelts and whatnot. And so they had a powwow, a meeting. They came out to the campgrounds with them. They had a meeting, and they did whatever they did to do at a meeting, and they made an agreement. The chief told him that, "Oh, we will set aside this area of land that you can use as you will, and we keep this land." And so they came to an agreement. One of the younger Indians who was did not want anything to do with the white man. He was totally against making any kind of treaties or agreements with the white man. Well, when the chief and my client, whoever he was back then, made their agreement, and he left and was walking towards his horse to leave the campground, and this Indian, who was a younger Indian, who was not in favor of that, snuck up behind him and got him in the back with a tomahawk. Now, seeing that from the perspective of this particular life, he was able to let go of the pain. The pain left him because there was no physiological reason for the pain. So now it's gone, and now he's not mistrustful of other people. That's just one. I've got others. I mean, I had a client who was wanted to become a motivational speaker to the Hispanic market. But he had a problem though. He was had stage fright, which is not good for a motivational speaker. If you're going to get up and speak in front of several hundred or several thousand people, stage fright will not be great, will not serve you very well. You get tongue tied in front of them. So I was teaching a class, and I used him as an example of past life therapy. So I got him up in front of the group, and I regressed him. He went back to a lifetime that he lived in ancient Rome. His job in ancient Rome was as an announcer in the Colosseum. He would go into the Colosseum with 50,000 people around him and the emperor sometimes. And his job was to walk out to the middle of the field in the Colosseum and take a scroll, unscroll a scroll, and read the day's events, whatever they might be. The gladiators fighting each other, or whatever, games, sports. And some of his friends played a joke on him. They substituted a scroll and gave him a blank scroll. So he got out in the middle of the Colosseum, opened it up, and there was nothing on it. And he became terrified. There's the emperor sitting up there. The emperor could go like this, and that's all for him. That's all she wrote. So seeing that, and with a little hypnotherapy too, he was able to overcome his fear of public speaking. He's now a respected motivational speaker to the Hispanic market.
Wow. Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, okay, what was the last man's story? I didn't, you know, heard that. What was the problem with him? Can you please repeat it?
I'm sorry. I'm not quite understanding. What?
As you told the story of the last persons that
Yeah.
had a problem. So, what was the problem? I didn't heard that. Can you please repeat for me? What was the problem with him?
With his problem?
Yeah.
Oh, his problem was stage fright. he had a fear of public speaking. And if you're going to be a motivational speaker, you don't want to have a fear of public speaking because you make
Okay,
a
yeah,
living by getting up in front of people and speaking. That was his problem. He wanted to be a motivational speaker, but he had a fear of public speaking. And
I got it.
this helped him overcome that particular fear.
Okay, okay, that was really inspiring and that
Yes.
very amazing. So there are many categories in the medical field, like psychology, chiropractor, and hypnotherapy.
Right.
So what is the hypnotherapy is exactly for those who are not familiar with this? So can you explain that what is hypnotherapy?
Okay, well, hypnotherapy can be used for a number of different things, not just past life regression. As a hypnotherapist, I also deal with matters, and my practice, hypnotherapy practice, is limited to what's called vocational and avocational self improvement. So I will help people lose weight. Lose weight is very popular. Stop smoking. Uh, Popular, not as popular as it was because less people, at least here in the United States, smoke now. And have a better memory and concentration. Stage fright, like I mentioned, that would be one of them. But most of other things, stress reduction, anxiety is a
Yeah,
debilitating thing. So I work with anxiety, and hypnosis or hypnotherapy is predicated on bypassing the conscious mind, which is the rational, logical, critical part, and going directly and speaking directly to the subconscious mind, which is accepts everything that is told to it, as long as what's told to it is reasonable, acceptable, and in its best interest. So hypnosis works by if the person wants it to work. If the person, you can't make someone do something that they don't want to do. To use an example, if a person wants to lose weight, then then under hypnosis, I program them, I'm using those words advisedly, program, and to accept the suggestion that they will just not want the fattening foods. They'll lose their desire for that, so that no diets are involved. Like a diet, I want it, meaning food, but I can't have it. With hypnosis, they start saying, I can have it, but I just don't want it, or I want less, or remove the desire. Works the same way with the smoking, with the cigarettes. Anxiety, teach them the different techniques, calming techniques at those times when anxiety comes upon them. Teach them techniques to overcome that. And then pretty soon we set up what's called conditioned response, whereby they don't respond to those particular situations anymore with stress and anxiety. They learn to respond with peace, calmness, and with the way they want to respond. That's in a nutshell. That's how hypnosis is used for self improvement reasons. A whole host.
yeah, amazing. It is such a nice field. So how much you have experience in this field?
Well, I've been doing this for close to 50 years. I started doing hypnosis professionally. It was in the mid. I think it was 1978 that I started doing it professionally. So it was 46 years. I did it before that, just for fun. But I just entered it as a profession in 1978 after I got my first doctorate degree. And I've been doing it ever since. And then I also gravitated towards past life regression.
Amazing. Now you have a PhD in hypnotherapist.
No, my PhD is in psychology, counseling psychology. I have what's called a DCH, a Doctor of Clinical Therapy. That's a professional degree. Like a PhD is considered an academic, at least here in the United States. PhD or an MA are considered academic degrees. Um, like an MD, which is a medical doctor, they don't have they may have an academic degree, but an MD is a professional degree. So I have a professional degree in clinical therapy. Professional, not chiropractor.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, they have a DC, right? DC is a doctor of chiropractic. That's a professional. So I have both an academic and a professional.
Okay. I said because you have a lot of experience in this field, so that's why I said you have a PhD in this field.
Yeah. And I teach people.
Okay.
I also teach hypnotherapy, and I also teach people to be past life regression therapists. As a matter of fact, I'm just introducing an online, on demand, what they call evergreen, right? Because it's always there. Access, audio, uh, not downloadable, but accessible. It will be accessible on a platform program that a person can learn how to become a past life regression therapist, and they don't have to know how to do hypnosis. I teach them how to do hypnosis during the course of this particular training, and it's all done on modules, audio modules. I have 21. It's going to be 21 different modules plus two bonus modules, a manual, 100 page, excuse me, a 300 plus page manual with 50 different scripts, and I've just released the beta version of that, and then in about 2 months, the what we call the alpha version, everything will be done, everything will be complete, and it'll be on an online platform. But right now,
Oh,
anybody who wants to learn it can learn it through the beta program. Now, the beta program, there's a catch to that. The catch is that, well, when it goes online and becomes accessible online, it's probably going to cost about $2,000 to $3,000 US. Right now, for anybody who agrees to give me feedback on the program and help me work out the bugs, it's to a limited number of people. I think I have about 20 slots available. That's all. It's available for $500,
okay.
which
It
is
is
quite
nice.
quite a savings. Quite a savings. Anybody out there who's interested, any of you viewers, they can get in touch with me. I'm sure you're going to put my contact information up there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a very big opportunity for
You'll
those
get
who wants
I'll send
to
you my
learn.
email, which you can put on there, and also my YouTube channel. Too. I got a number of different videos on my YouTube channel,
Yeah.
information.
What is the name of your YouTube channel?
My name, Dr. Bruce E. Kaloski,
Wow. Okay.
just like it is idea underneath that,
Yeah, it is written in
just
the
like
in
the
your
picture.
screen.
Right.
So if someone wants to learn about hypnotherapy, so they can go to the YouTube and they
That's
can search
my.
this.
Well, what they should do if they're interested in it, they should contact me first, and that would be one way. Uh, I can tell them what I have available and what the courses are. If they're on Facebook, they can find me on Facebook and send me a direct message too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, amazing. Okay. So what was your passion when you was a child? Means what was your childhood passion? Was the same as now
My
or
profession before I became
yeah,
what? Oh,
no,
oh,
I have
that's an interesting question. I got my undergraduate degree in anthropology at the University of Hawaii. And when I graduated from the University of Hawaii, I went into the tour industry. So I was what was called the tour, it was a tour escort, which is like a tour guide or a tour director, and that's what I did for several years after graduating from the University of Hawaii. But I developed an interest in hypnosis and in past life regression many years before that.
okay, amazing. So when someone writing a book like any category of the book, so the person have any thinking in their mind that when the readers will will read this book, so they can get any specific lesson from this book. So What do you hope readers take away from your book?
Say that again. What about what did you say about my book? Good question.
What what do you hope readers take away from your book?
Oh, the takeaway from the book is that, I would say the biggest takeaway from my book is that reincarnation is a very plausible concept. That um, there's no reason there's no reason to put it in the esoteric field. That that reincarnation can be explained logically and rationally through certain scientific theories, and that it's not what people think it is. And there are very many theories about reincarnation and karma, and it's I just as I said, I'm not dogmatic. I put all these theories out there. I tell people in the book, I tell them about that, and I leave it to their own conclusion what they want to believe.
Okay, nice. So, what is your writing process like? Do you have any rituals or routines?
Do I have one? I'm sorry.
Uh, what is your writing process like? Do you have any rituals or routines?
One more time. Ask me one more time. I'm not quite understanding you. Do I have one?
Okay, uh, let me repeat it again. What is your writing process like?
Well,
Do you have any rituals or routines?
my writing process. Um, I do an awful lot of research. I do a lot of research. If it's nonfiction, which of course books are, I do a lot of research online, but I also uh, have I've also created a lot of training programs and hypnosis, um, which I marketed years ago to people who are hypnotherapists, and I can draw upon those and take information from that to put in basically most nonfiction books that I want to write, if it has to do with my particular field. My writing process is a lot different than it used to be. I used to write I used to have to write in longhand first on yellow pads, and then transfer that to the computer. But that's the way I learned. When I grew up, I didn't grow up with computers, so that's the way we did it. And we could use typewriters, but I always wrote things out first. Then I would type them, and because now I trained myself to go directly onto the computer. It was difficult for me at first to create in my mind and put it onto the screen, but that probably is my writing process now. I'm also looking to write some novels on with the theme of reincarnation.
Okay, okay, nice.
But I tried novel writing many years ago. I'd like to try it again. It's totally different than writing fiction. Is totally different than writing nonfiction. As
Yeah,
you may not know.
yeah,
Some people find it easier to write fiction. Other people find it easier to write nonfiction. So I guess it's all what you're used to.
yeah, exactly. So, what you would like to say about the importance of reading books, as we are mostly talking on your book? So, what is the importance of reading books? Because in this era, people are really close to the computers, mobiles, and like electronic devices. They are too far from books. Like there are there are only small quantity of the pupils who like to read the books in this era. So, what is the importance of reading books?
Yeah, that's unfortunate that I don't know that not as many people read books as they used to do, because I think books are repositories of our history, our culture, um, of our thought processes, and uh, and of our history. How else are we to learn history? if we don't learn it at least from a book. You know, there's the old saying, those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. And that's most unfortunate. And books can take us off into another. I find a book to be particularly okay novels or nonfiction books, tremendous stress reducers, where you can go into another world for several hours and just be gone. I personally, I don't I don't read electronic books. I don't do Kindle. I like to feel a book. I don't have any, but that's what I like to have a book in my hand. I like to feel it. I like to smell it and see the words on printed paper. But that's me. Everybody's
Well,
different. I probably do more sales of my book. Your journey was never meant to end. I would say more electronic sales. Kindle downloads.
well,
But but I personally I don't buy them. When I buy books, I I buy the physical book.
exactly. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. or Dr. Bruce, for coming to this show. You made it even more lively. Thank you so much for your precious time. I asked for 30 minutes, and sorry, it is now 31 minute passed away.
Okay, not a problem. Most of these do go over. I know myself. My interviews, having become so engrossed with what they're telling you that I tend to go over time too. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll get that information to you. Those links and contact information for anybody out there who might be interested in this and
Yeah,
finding out about it.
thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. You've been very kind. Bye bye now.
Okay, sorry, I have a last question in
Sure.
in 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 the last of conversation, but it seems like a crazy. So, finally, if you could have dinner with any author, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
If I could have dinner with any author, I would probably want to have dinner with Hemingway, Ernest Hemingway, because he's a thoroughly not only his writing, but as an individual, as the life he led, as the uh, such a such a full life, a life of adventure, uh, and he probably lived the kind of life that I would have wanted. I wouldn't want to end the way he did with a shotgun blast. He committed suicide, but I'd probably want to have dinner with Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much again, Dr. Bruce. Thank you so much for all the information that you have shared with us. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching us live. We will meet you soon with another amazing podcast with another amazing guest. Hope you gain lots of things from this conversation, and I recommend you to subscribe Dr. Bruce YouTube channel. The name is same as his name, Dr. Bruce E. Kaloski. So please go and subscribe that and do follow Mr. Bruce so that you can, you know, learn about hypnotherapy and much more things. So meet you soon with another amazing podcast with another amazing guest to discuss any topic and to gain more knowledge. Till then, stay peace and take care of yourself. Bye bye.